Ons gesels vanoggend oor hoe digitale platforms die besigheidswêreld verander, veral met betrekking tot klein medium ondernemings, oftewel KMO's. En ons verwelkom vir Colin Timmis, hoof van rekeningkunde Suid-Afrika by Xero. Good morning and thank you for joining us for this discussion.
Thanks very much.
Colin, please tell us a little about yourself and your background.
So my background is in accounting. I ran an accounting practice for a number of years and just grew very frustrated with the traditional way of doing accounting. Like most business owners, it's a very frustrating experience, very important, but not something that people get excited about, bookkeeping and accounting. But it's a critical part of business. And then there was a great product that came along called Xero, which was a cloud accounting system born in the cloud. And what that means is there's a big focus on digital strategy for businesses. So as an accountant, I absolutely loved it. It was a new way of doing things. And it's just helped to revolutionize the entire accounting industry, but also for small businesses and the types of clients that people like me used to service. We could offer them something completely different. So they could literally do their accounting on their phones.
Sounds very interesting and dynamic.
Yeah.
You recently gave a very enthusiastic talk at the National Small Business Summit about digital platforms that could change a SMME, small, medium and micro-sized enterprises, owner's life. What makes you so passionate about utilizing digital support systems?
Yeah. Well, I think, for a long time, business owners have been engaged in digital type activity. So everyone uses a cell phone, uses an iPad or a computer. But when we think digital, we think technology, we think very complicated environments. Some people think servers, they think huge investments, they think IT support. And the reality is that's not the case anymore. Now for a few £100 a month, a business owner can get his accounting system on his phone, he can get it on his iPad, he can be connected to banks, to individuals, to other apps and functions that help him drive his business. So as a small business owner, perhaps I don't have a sales funnel. I don't know how to qualify my leads. I don't know how to do quotes properly. Maybe I'm still using, manual tools or Excel spreadsheets to prepare documents. And the reality is there's huge amounts of software out there that allow you to do these things from your mobile device. And it doesn't cost a large amount of money. So this takes us into the space of digital platforms. And although it sounds a little bit complicated, it really isn't. And as I said, for a few £100 a month, what you've got is small business owners who can connect their accounting system to a piece of sales software, to a piece of quoting software, to their CRM software, to their online web store. So it connects the entire environment. So it's really exciting because business owners can now scale their businesses. They can now grow their businesses using IT and digital strategy is a critical part of that business.
Maybe there's an accountant watching the show now and he goes like, where am I going? Is it going to replace people at the end? You yourself as an accountant, but now you work with the app.
Yes.
But is it doing the work of an accountant?
What we're seeing is a massive change in the function accountants perform. So traditionally, and probably in the last 50 years, there's been no evolution in the services accountants provide. So in other words, you would give me your information and I would physically have to capture that information into an accounting system. So you would drop off your bank statements, you would deliver your invoices. But the question is, in today's age, why should somebody have to manually enter that information into the accounting system? And worse yet, why should you have to pay me by the hour to capture that information? It's the same way it's been done for 50 years. So why not rather transfer the information from your computer to my computer? And what we're seeing is a move in accounting from compliance services and statutory obligations to value-based services. So instead of you paying me to capture your information, now you're paying me to do what I've been trained to do, which is give you advice. And that hasn't been possible to this point because we haven't had the tools to do that. It's like running a garden service business and I'm cutting your lawn with a pair of scissors. How efficient am I? Whereas if I'm running a garden service business and I have a lawnmower, not only can I provide a better service at a better cost, but I can do more gardens. So the accounting industry is seeing a massive change where, yes, there's a huge focus on machine learning, artificial intelligence, automation. But what we're doing is we're upskilling the accountants and allowing them to do what they're passionate about and what they're skilled and what they're trained to do. So nobody disputes the move to online accounting. Everyone is moving into online accounting. That is the future. The question just is how quickly do people move? and what other tools do they employ to service their clients while they move.
Maybe linking to that, I mean, applications. It's now it's happening.
Yeah.
It's new and vibrant. People use it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But you get people that are a bit frightened to go the more modern route.
Yeah.
What do you guys do to ensure that it's user friendly when it comes to the applications?
Well, first off, I think the importance is why was the software designed? So if you look at the original intention of why any software is designed, it's usually designed for the users. So traditionally in the accounting space, accounting software has been designed for accountants. And very often that's built a bit of a wall between the accountant and their clients. So I, as the accountant, then have to charge you a fee to give you information that you need because you can't access it. That's not the case anymore. Now we're seeing software being designed for the business owner. So it's being designed for you, not for me. So what that does, it gives you immediate access. So it's actually way friendlier. It's way more easier to interact with and understand. So you need me to provide other information, not information on how to use the software and to get what you should be looking at every day as a business owner, but to give you more high-level overview. So ratios and scenario planning and that sort of thing.
Ek gaan julle daar onderbreek, ons gaan net verder gesels.
Ons gaan voort met ons gesprek vanoggend oor digitale, of liewer oor hoe digitale platforms die besigheidswêreld verander, veral met betrekking tot klein, medium ondernemings. En ons verwelkom weer eens ons gas Colin Timmis, hoof van rekeningkunde Suid-Afrika by Xero. Colin, how exactly did you make the transition to digital? And do you have any advice for those SMME owners in South Africa who find the digital world intimidating?
It can be very intimidating, but there's a lot of information out there. And change is never easy. But the reality is that, like some people say, change is going to happen. You can either cause that change or you can react to the change later. So however uncomfortable it is, people do need to embrace change. And one of the biggest problems in business is that business owners don't embrace change. Oftentimes the signs are there. Maybe it's in the financials, maybe it's in your customer base, maybe it's in industry, maybe it's in your digital strategy for your business. So we have to embrace change, we have to adapt. And there's a lot of information out there. There's obviously a lot of junk on the internet as well, but by watching a few videos for a few minutes, one can really begin to feel comfortable. And by finding an accountant or a business advisor who's already in that space, I think that's really important. You need to align yourself not just with customers and with financial institutions that will support your business, but also with the service providers like your accountants who are able to advise you. If you want to take your business into the digital space, is your accountant already in that space? And if not, should the business owner be leading the accountant or should the accountant be leading the business owner?
I agree. Now let's discuss a few of the digital platforms you think could change a SMME owner's life for the better. Let's start with digital proposals.
Yeah, I think proposal software is so important because if I'm a business owner, I'm providing quotes and proposals to a company. It's really important that it looks professional, but also that it's easy to use. How are my proposals accepted? How are they signed? How do I receive confirmation that they've been done? There's some proposal software out there that actually allows you to see what portion of the proposal your customer is busy reading. So if I send you a proposal, I can see that you're focusing on paragraph X and you're spending 2 or 3 minutes reading that paragraph, which really helps me to see what your concerns might be. You as the customer can then sign that online and it then notifies me and creates the invoice automatically in my accounting system. So immediately you can see how much more of an efficient process this can be, especially if I have reminders as well. But for me, a really important area is sales. Business owners don't focus on sales, and a lot of them don't understand what a sales funnel is and how important it is to qualify leads throughout a process. And if one knows how many leads you potentially will have in 3 months' time, it really helps you to predict sales and problems. So if you use some sales tools, there's a lot of applications out there that link with accounting systems like Xero. One can get these leads and proposals and into a sales funnel and then qualify them over a period of time, and the business owner's in control of the potential revenue in 6 months, not wondering what sales am I going to have this month.
Till slips and accounting services.
Till slips and physical documents. Everybody sticks it in their car, sticks it in their pocket, sticks it in their laptop bag. And there's software out there that is free. There's an app called Expensify that if you just take a picture of it with your phone, it will actually capture the slip and put it into a monthly report that gets emailed out. So if I'm a business owner and one of my biggest frustrations is collating either my own slips or my staff slips for free, it's not intimidating. It's not a complicated piece of software. You download the app, you put it on your phone, take a picture of your slip, and it captures it and has a physical copy of the slip on your phone. And there's other tools that do similar functions where literally all your expenses can be captured with your phone and processed into your accounting system. There's no manual processing. There's no late night or weekends when you should be focusing on growing your business, busy trying to get your information into an accounting system that oftentimes you never use because you don't have access to it.
When it comes to using apps like these, for example, the Slip one, because I know it becomes quite a nuisance to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Will those copies which you've now stored, can that then be used for purposes such as SARS, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're doing verifications or validations with SARS, you need to upload information. For example, if there's a review on your annual tax return, or you need to upload VAT information for a review of your bi-monthly VAT 201, that information is on your accounting system. So you can download that file and upload that file into the SARS system, which makes it far easier than having to find the document in a file.
Is it still necessary to store the hard copy,
Yeah,
though?
you still need to keep the hard copy for a period of time.
Okay.
It's very unlikely in a lot of situations that SARS will actually come and ask for that. That doesn't happen very often. But legally, yes, you do have to maintain a physical copy. But you can maintain those in a copy, in a storage room or in a file that you only have to access if and when required
Under
by
the
SARS.
bed or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
If we take a look at budgeting and banking,
Yeah, budgeting and banking, everybody needs a budget. And banking, we deal with all the time. We deal with, again, we have a digital environment in businesses. We do internet banking. But now you're able to link your bank account to your accounting system. So what you can then do, and what Xero has developed in other territories like New Zealand, Australia, the UK, and the US, is we have direct connections with the bank. And what that enables us to do is extract the information from the bank directly into the accounting system. And once that information's in the accounting system, now we can do lending, scenario planning, and a whole lot of other stuff with that information because it's coming in a controlled environment. We haven't had to pay somebody else to take information out of the bank and put it into the accounting system. We're just moving it from the bank into the accounting system.
are there any other examples
Of
of these kind of platforms that you could perhaps elaborate more on?
Yeah, there's so many other, there's customer relationship management. Do small business owners have a database of their clients? Do they know what's going on with their clients? Are they able to segment their clients and just see, if there are 100 clients, what type of clients are they? Do they market to those clients? So having a nice CRM is completely possible in this type of environment. And again, it's a few $100 a month, and it's not a complicated process.
I've got two questions. The one, is there an app doing VAT? I think a lot of guys they hate doing the VAT.
Well, one of the things I think that most people would have liked to have seen in the budget speech that's just passed is actually changing the VAT levels, actually moving the VAT threshold maybe from $1 million to a little bit higher,
Yes.
and possibly changing the VAT from invoice basis to cash basis, because when you have that, it does make your VAT a little bit easier. But unfortunately, you still need to capture your information and generate your VAT report. It is made a little bit easier when you use tools like, say, Receipt Bank, which will automatically capture your supplier invoices via your phone. It does make that completion process a bit easier.
And then the second one, we've spoken about free apps and then apps that cost you money.
Yeah.
My experience with free apps, it's sometimes it's you bombarded with ads and stuff like that. It's not as good. Or do you think there's free apps that's just as good?
Some of the apps that I've quoted, like Expensify, are just as good. They limit you to the volume of transactions per month. So they would cap you at, say, 20 scans a month.
Okay.
And then you would start paying after that. So generally, no, you don't get bombarded with a lot of, in this ecosystem, with a lot of marketing and advertising that drives you crazy.
Are there some things you just haven't found a good digital solution for yet? Things people can avoid wasting their time and money on?
Well, I think people should avoid wasting their time and money on software that doesn't integrate. So if you're looking at a piece of software, if it does not integrate with something else, don't use it. That really is the key. We want to rewire the small business economy, and there's no point in a business owner getting involved in software or custom developing software. Obviously, there's a scale where you do need to custom develop, but generally all software should integrate and talk to each other. It makes it far easier to work with, and the switching costs then become a bit lower for the business owner as well.
And I think it was the big problem, like recently with like Apple. It wasn't compatible. If you had to use just like Windows, and now I mean, it works for everything.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't want to use software also that only works on particular devices. You want to use software that works on all devices. You want that freedom of choice, and you don't want to be backed into a corner.
How can people stay up to date in terms of digital advances? How do you stay up to date?
It's a difficult question because there hasn't been up to this point a lot of information out there driving the digital strategy for small businesses. There is a lot more happening now. Everyone's talking about digital and the need. But I would really try and connect with an advisor or an accountant who is in that space. There are a lot of zero advisors, a lot of zero accountants out there in South Africa already. And once you connect with them and ask them for strategy and advice, then they can guide you.
I definitely feel more informed, so thank you
Great.
so much.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
So gesels Colin Timmis, hoof van rekeningkunde Suid-Afrika by Xero.
And they can get you at zero.com, 0.0.
Xero.com or 0.0.0 will take you right to the Xero website and you can find an advisor there as well.
Ja, jy het nou 0 verskoning om nie jou besigheid te laat groei nie.